Hello guys, and welcome to this car talk. In this one we're going to be talking about the future of cars and the automotive.
We've got there's things coming out like subscriptions for certain parts of your cars and how design and ownership and all that kind of stuff. Is it going to be all electric? Is it going to be petrol and diesel?
Is there going to be some other alternative? And the other thing, excuse me, sorry, I'm just turning my phone on silent because on the last video it was making noises. But because we're going to basically be having a look at it to see whether is it going to be bleak or is it going to be bright. That's the main thing we were sort of talking about between us. And the bleakness, I can see a lot of it compared to the old days. I mean, I'm old enough, you can probably see I'm old enough to remember some of the early, when I was lucky enough that I came into cars when the carburetor was still there, but it was being phased out. It was early fuel injection, but that was starting to become more reliable. A lot of the creature comforts we got today, such as, which you guys probably won't even call creature comforts if you're younger, like central locking, like remote central locking as well,
power steering,
electric windows, that sort of thing, were something you had if you had a posh car back then. So that side of it is, I'm old enough to remember that, but it seems to be like we were saying a minute ago. Because I think that will be the bit which is the bright side of it, will be the tech that's coming out for the cars. But what we were saying about a minute ago is that back then it was pride to have your pride. Your car was your pride and joy, and that part, the biggest part of it being yours. If you took it's back then, there was no PCP contracts, there was no renting and things like that, like there is now. Only commercial people rented vehicles back then. So it was kind of one of those things where, looking at it, you had pride in the fact that it was your car and you were going to own it someday. Whether you chose to sell it fairly soon after to go and take out a loan and put that money towards another one was up to you and things, but it was your car more, whereas that seems to be becoming less and less of a thing now. People don't seem to care if it's owned mostly by the bank, like finance whip thing. I know there's a lot of memes and a lot of piss taking, and we're not taking the mickey if you do that way. I can understand it. Especially because, like, we were thinking about, like, novice, when you're looking at novice drivers or novice mechanics, people that don't really, or people that drive their cars from A to B to work and back. The car has no soul, no nothing for them. For them, it's like having a microwave. It's something.
It's a white good to them, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. It's something they just use. For people like that, it's perfect. You pay a certain amount a month, £200 a month or whatever it is, and you don't have to worry about anything. The only thing you have to worry about is fuel, insurance, tax, and they cover everything else, all the repairs, everything's under warranty. I do kind of get it because it avoids big garage bills and things like that. Well, you say it avoids it, but again, I think that's a farce, because you say it avoids a big garage bill, but well,
it depends what it is, doesn't it?
That's it. If you say your engine goes bang on your car, okay, yeah, fair enough, that might cost you £3,000 to repair, but the thing is, how much, we're paying £200 a month in a year. How long before that £3,000 is incurred in other charges? And that's the thing. So again, you're kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul, I personally think, with that. So I don't know which way would be right. I suppose it's kind of, I don't suppose there is a right answer to it, but it's, I've always gone by the thing. I'm old school. My cars are all 20 plus years old, pretty much, and old shit boxes, really.
Well, I've never had a car that I didn't own 100%.
That's it. I'm the same, and that's it. I love that fact. It's quite nice to know that nobody has dominion over what I've got on my driveway. Really, it's my stuff. And before I start getting hate comments about that, because yes, tax, and yes, this, and yes, I know that there's only certain things I could do with my car, and that the FOSA and DVSA and MOT tests. Yes, I know that they're not. You've still got limited freedom, but you know what I mean. It's my car. I could go out there and throw a hammer at my van if I wanted to, or I could paint it bright pink, and it's not really going to have any other repercussions on me other than the fact that I've done something stupid to my car.
Yeah, the company's not going to turn around and say, we're not having this back off you.
Yeah, that's it. Or you are £6,000 for body repairs.
Yeah.
But I think that's the way it does seem to be evolving, though. More so that I think that it's going to get to the stage where people. Well, I've seen it already. Like originally, when me and you first got into our cars, everybody owned their own car, didn't they? Our parents did, like all of our friends, all of our family. I didn't know anybody when I got my driving test that was renting a car.
No, even if they'd taken out a loan for it, they at least owned that car. When that loan was paid off, that car was theirs.
Yeah, or you had like finance companies was a newish, well not
Yeah.
newish, but yeah, you could get finance through usually only main dealers. I think back
Yeah.
then were the main ones, or car dealers. But yeah, the it does seem to have been a shift, because I think now I know more people that have got cars on PCP finance, things like that,
Yeah.
than haven't now. So it has taken a massive shift that way. So I think that we are a dying breed of people that actually
Yeah.
want to own our vehicles outright as our own property.
Well,
And
I'd
it does
say
seem to
in
be-
work, I reckon at least 90% of the people in my work don't own their cars 100%.
And I think, yeah, and I think it depends on who you're brought up by as well, because the thing is, again, it was a lot of pride, a lot of things. If you had a, like, I don't know, I suppose, like, I mean, I don't know if it's the same for you, but like being brought up, it always seemed to me that if you had a job that paid you okay, so you were comfortable, it didn't have to be rich, but if you were comfortable, if you owned your own car, if you owned your own house, or if you were
Yeah.
in the process of having a mortgage and owning your own house, that meant you'd made it, you were doing pretty
Yeah.
good for yourself and everything like that. So, like, that's why I think, to me, the idea of not owning the car but just paying like a monthly subscription for it kind of just seems a bit, I don't know, seems a bit like goes against the grain a bit. But like, I think that is the way, I think for the future of cars, I think that's the way it's definitely going to go, is that
To
way.
be fair, I think it's the value of cars these days as well. New cars now, when we were growing up, a new car, brand new car, you could get for about 5-6 grand.
Yeah.
Whereas now,
I mean, don't get me wrong.
the most basic model car, I think, Dacia or some is about 18 grand now.
I
So
mean-
a lot of the cars that people are actually buying on lease or PCP or whatever are way, way, way out of their price brackets to ever be able to
Yeah.
afford to buy
I
in
do-
one go.
I do think that is a thing, but then again, I'm surprised that the second-hand car market isn't more of a thing now, because everybody is skint at the minute. The world is, well, our
Yeah.
country is terrible, but the world is not that good at the minute. So I'm surprised there isn't more people going out there buying shit boxes like me, really. But
To
it's,
be fair, I think people are so
cost.
desperate to have something that's brand new that they'll
Mm.
forgo how much it hits them financially just to have that brand new car.
yeah, I suppose the same as phones, laptops,
Yeah.
watches, all that sort of thing. Really, again, I suppose I'm one of those old-fashioned people. I like certain labels, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't have to be that label sort of
No.
thing, you know. I mean, I just look and see what I was wearing there. This is a T-shirt of one of my cars from a favourite film that my mother got me. So it's, yeah, I don't know if this is a label or not. I don't think so. but it's yeah, I think that is definitely one of the main ways it's going to go in the future. I mean, it's, because I suppose we've gone a bit off topic about all the finance side of it, really. But I mean, the other thing, I mean, like you were saying as well, is like going on to the subscription side of it. You were saying about BMW with.
Oh, charging you a subscription for heated seats.
That's right, yeah, and it's that's a crazy thing. If that becomes a thing, that's going to be weird, man.
Well, have you
That's
seen the Volkswagen one? On
No.
the new ID models, because they're all electric, you get a certain amount of power for a certain price, and then if you want your vehicle to be full power, you have to pay the extra to get, say for example, it's limited to a 0 to 60 time of 7 seconds at the moment.
Mm.
If you pay the extra to get the extra power, then your 0 to 60 goes to 5 seconds, or your range
Wow.
goes up, or your horsepower goes from 150 to 180 horsepower or something like that, but it's capped until you pay a full amount.
That's crazy, isn't it? So how?
So-
So,
so-
basically, every car is going to be top of the line capability, but you might not have that because it depends on what you can afford per month. Really, then that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
so you may get a top of the line car, but have to pay a subscription to have cruise control or heated seats or full power or full range or something like that.
Wow.
So basically, you're going to have a car that isn't
That's
one
crazy,
isn't 100% yours, and two isn't 100% complete as such.
That's crazy, because you think that would cost the car companies more. 'Cause I mean, if there's people like me out there who's a complete tight ass,
Yeah.
then I'd be like, yeah, how much? I'll live without the freaking heated seats, but I would have those seats. So basically, you're going to have those seats in there with the heated elements and all these extra components.
Yeah.
But you know, people like me who go, I'm not paying that, and you'd be driving around with your car that the heated seats are never ever going to work because I won't pay the extra £20 a month for it.
Yeah, basically you'll have a car that looks top of the range, but it'll be completely POV spec because you won't pay the extras.
Again, it shows that a lot of things are going about the status symbol, like you're saying about everybody. It means more to a lot of people to have new cars nowadays than second-hand ones. So again, I suppose it comes down to that: is your cars will all look the same,
Yeah,
but they all look posh, but then some of yours might not have that function.
yeah.
I
So-
wonder if that means they'll be hackable in the future. There's got to be surely there's got to be a way. I mean, I suppose they could turn it on and off over the airways, but surely if there's plugins still available, there's going to be people. Like, well, I bet Firestick Man's rubbing his hands together.
Well, I can only assume that it's a similar thing now that these car companies are able to put these restrictions on your car.
I don't like that level of control. No. I really don't. Does that mean that, like, if... I mean, again, it'd be quite good in certain ways. Like, if you ring up to certain things, again, it swings around, but it's like, I don't like that level of controls, because surely that means that then, if you're late on payment 1 month, or like if the bank messes up, if you're not even late for payment on your own thing, but you got to go to work one morning, and all of a sudden, oh, your car won't power up, because they've turned it off because you've not paid in time or something. It'd be like,
could very well be that way.
Yeah,
like your electric or your water get turned off if you don't pay for it.
Yeah, so that's crazy. Or if they don't like you going to a certain area, or if you've gone a bit over the speed limit because you're late to go somewhere or something like that, they could just knock it down. Or
well, they do a similar thing with the black boxes, don't they? Your insurance goes up slightly if you don't drive as they wish you to.
That is another thing that I really hope doesn't become a thing in the future, but that's another thing that could come in, is black boxes on all cars. I've heard rumours that there have been governments trying to enforce it for years, but the only reason they haven't been able to is because people have been saying no, but if they started pricing the insurances out of sky high without a black box, but you could, so the only way you could afford to have insurance on your car is with a black box, and I hope that never becomes a thing, and I will fight every fibre of my body against that. But
it's definitely a couple of things that make you think that the future of cars is more bleak than bright.
Yeah, that's it. That worries me. The whole 1984, whatever that book is called.
Oh, Big Brother and all that.
Yeah, that whole side of it. I hate the fact that they can see everything you're doing. Cars connected to satellites and internet, and I think it's going to limit a lot of freedom in some ways.
Yeah.
And it'll be a lot easier to prove you've done something wrong if they suspect you've done something wrong as well. And it's like, well, I remember when sat-navs first came out, one of the features you used to be able to get on a lot of them, which seems to have disappeared probably for quite good reason, was a lot of them you'd be able to see your max speed on the journey. My first Garmin had it.
Yeah.
And there was rumours, I never heard of anyone purposely getting done for it, but I did hear rumours that if you were pulled by the coppers and you had something like 120 on your sat-nav as a max speed, that you would they could prosecute you because that was evidence that you had against yourself for speeding.
I wouldn't be surprised with new cars with all the computers and sensors and bits on it that there isn't something that stores data like that in your car.
Yeah, that's the other thing as well, is the data, which is scary that it could hold. I mean, the other thing as well is like that. I tell you what, that sat-nav though, the one thing about that made me laugh is I went up one road and then. Yeah, I was going up one road and on a fork, the split, but there was a road between the two, and the sat-nav thought I went down that road even though I was going up this one, and then thought I went between the two, like in a split second.
Yeah.
So for like years, the max speed that I had on my sat-nav was 274 miles an hour.
I remember that, yeah.
And I wanted to get pulled over because I was waiting to try, I wanted to see a copper try and prove that I could do that in a Cavalier SRI 140. But it was, but yeah, it was, so like that side of it could be a bit scary. I mean, on the lighter side, the tech that's coming in could be really cool. I mean, like I've seen a lot of things online about like airless tyres.
Yeah.
Things so if you do drive over a nail, you're not going to end up with blowouts and things, which is cool as hell. Obviously, the safety side of it in general, like they're always coming out with ways to make it safer, so that if you're involved in crashes, things like that, you're more likely to come out unscathed or need to have like not lose limbs and things like that, or to come out with brown pants really and nothing else.
Well, to be fair, like even when we were kids, like there was no crumple zone on a car. The entire car was a crumple zone. It just turned into like a crisp packet if you hit something hard enough. Yeah,
well that's it. I mean,
you know, so it's come on leaps and bounds since we were growing up with cars.
Well, that's it. I remember my old man's first couple of cars when I was a kid didn't have seatbelts in the back because they weren't legally mandatory. You know what I mean? If you can believe that, it's probably some youngsters probably never even heard of that. But cars back then, you didn't have to have seatbelts in.
Well, even things you take for granted these days, like ABS,
airbags.
Yeah, you know, a lot of these things only came on top level cars, whereas now they come in everything as standard.
That's it, and it's that's it. So I mean, I do like the safety side of it. I think is obviously going to keep coming on better and better.
Yeah, so that's a bright thing for the future. But
yeah, and I think also the tech that we get as well, because like I say, there are certain things. I mean, like I say, I'm a bit of a dinosaur. I believe in all tech that makes the driver's life better.
Yeah,
like all stuff like I love My last Beamer had auto wipers. That was wicked. I love that. The fact that it started raining, all of a sudden the car went to put the wipers on for you. Auto lights are cool. Even the when it first came out, it felt weird, but the cruise control that's got the radar on it.
Adaptive cruise control.
Yeah, adaptive cruise control. That's very cool. I mean, I'm not a big believer in the tech that doesn't. The new tech that doesn't make the driver's life better just seems to complicate the car. Like electric power steering, ridiculous idea, because hydraulic power steering worked just fine. I would love to see the real specs on how much extra fuel economy that the power steering pump puts on an engine, because I bet you over the course of a year it would be peanuts. Yeah, if electronic power steering rack goes, the last one I did on a BMW was about £1,200 for the part alone, and it had to be fitted and coded, whereas the steering rack for my Renault van, my Peugeot, my Chevy even, the steering box on that or my Shogun, a couple £100 max for the part. So I mean, you look at it like that, it's like nearly £1,000 different, and that makes the driver's life no better than before. And they're the kind of tech bits I'm not keen on, because you've got power steering on my old hydraulic power steering vehicles out there, the same as you had on our mate Dav's Focus, that electronic power steering. I mean, don't get me wrong, the same with all tech, it's all becoming a lot more reliable now, but all that seemed to do in my eyes as a mechanic was just make everything more expensive and more complicated.
Yeah, it does make you a lot more worried when things go wrong.
Yeah, that's it. So I mean, but like all the good tech though, like again, another one I never really got was glass roofs. That don't open. I prefer an old-fashioned sunroof that opens so you can have airflow through the car.
Yeah.
So the glass roofs, unless you like gazing at stars, or unless you're a dogger, I don't really get the whole point of that. If anything, I don't like the idea of it, because if you end up inadvertently upside down somewhere, sliding down the road, how strong is that glass?
I think it's only good if you're a passenger. If you're a driver, it makes no difference to you whatsoever, because you shouldn't be looking up out through your roof.
No, and also I would imagine that it would make sun glare worse. I don't know, things like that I don't get, but the tech that makes life easier, like say, like auto wipers, auto lights, or the remote traction, fucking adaptive cruise control. Sorry, excuse my language. And things like that. I think that is very good. And there's a lot of other rumours about cars. I mean, like Tesla's driving themselves.
Yep.
Automatic parking can be good. Parking sensors, cameras on the cars. Like, I love. I mean, as much I'm not a huge fan of the Duke. I don't like the Duke. The Qashqai I like.
Yeah.
But the parking camera system on them, the one that makes it so that you can almost see the car from any obstacles that come in.
We've got that on the 2008 GT.
Oh, wicked! Yeah, that side of things, stuff like that, I think is fantastic. And massage. I went into a car the other day. I had massage seats in it.
No way.
That was so nice. I was like, on a long journey, that would be awesome. You're sitting back and your back's getting all massaged. It's like, and cooled seats I've seen on a Honda as well. Like I say, tech like that, stuff that makes your life more comfortable as a driver or a passenger.
Yeah.
Wicked idea. And like the screens, you can get cars that have got Wi-Fi built into them. You can get cars with like Bluetooth, YouTube and things like that.
Yeah.
You can watch us in your car in some cars now. Things like that. Stuff like that I think is absolutely brilliant. And that stuff I do get a bit excited about, and I can't wait to see what they come up with next for drivers and stuff. But it's so I mean, that's the brighter side.
Yeah.
Autonomous is another one. Autonomy is coming out on cars. It'd be interesting to see where that goes, how far that goes. Again, I'm all for it if you still have the option to drive yourself.
Yeah.
If you've got that option, that's what I want. I think all this stuff is very good, provided we still get the freedom with it, effectively. And then I think that'll be a really bright future for cars, is if they start taking it away and it being a bit more like Big Brother watching, that's when it could be darker. So at the minute, I think it's one of two ways, really, with cars.
It is a bit 50-50 spread, isn't it?
Yeah, because like autonomy, I think, is a good way. I think that could be good. I mean, a couple of reasons. I mean, the main one that everyone talks about is if you go out and have a drink, you can go home in your own car. That's one. But I mean, I was thinking more along the lines of if you know somebody, like think about your grandparents, people like that are no longer able to drive, but if they've got an autonomous car, they can still have their independence. They can still jump in their car and go to the shops when they want to, and go other places where they want to without having to rely on a bus or other people and things like that. So it'd be very good for people like that, people with sustained injuries, blindnesses, things like that. You can still have the freedom of having your own vehicle, but without necessarily having to drive it if you can't anymore. So I think that could be really could have its own place. It's scary in some ways, like when Clarkson said about whether it would choose to take down a bunch of people in a bus stop or kill him.
Yeah.
And I am very much behind him in that thing. Is I want the choice to kill myself or not the computer to make that choice for me, really. And it's so yeah, I'm very much in the way of that. So I think there is a lot of cool stuff coming out, and I mean looking at the performance of cars as well. I mean, you look at EVs. I don't think they're the future. They're not sustainable. The stuff that's mined out the ground, unless they can work out a way to make them out of more recyclable materials, make the batteries better, make the charging quicker. We've gone through this in a previous car talk what some of our early seasons, but I think that they're not all there yet. But I mean, I don't think there's going to be the full-on future. I think this is just a midway point until we start using hydrogen or something along those lines. But it is something that it's interesting. But those EV performance,
well, you can't deny the power on them.
It's ridiculous. One of my friends has got a 535D BMW E60. Awesome car, love that thing to bits. It would absolutely wipe the floor of my old 330 really quick. But he's selling it at the minute because he bought himself one of these BYD electric cars. And he said that thing wipes the floor with his Beamer, and I was like, no way. It's not even marketed as a performance vehicle. It's just just a nice luxury EV. But he said it is unbelievable power. But so I do get things like that. They're going to get better. So performance-wise, I look forward to it.
Yeah.
I mean, cars, even day-to-day cars, seem to be getting faster. So I think we'll keep getting faster with cars, power-wise, 0 to 60. I do think, however, that eventually they will come in with restrictors, because there's already talk about cars that can read road signs and they won't go above 60 in a 60, they won't go above 30 in a 30, things like that. So I mean, that might be a thing. I hope not, but acceleration-wise and performance-wise on private roads, I think will be quite quick.
Oh, it's going to keep going up and up as well.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you look at the things. I mean, for example, you look at the old Ford Escorts with a 1.8 in with like 85 horsepower, or 95 horsepower. I remember it being written on the rocker cover, and it was not even 100 horsepower. Yet you look at the new Ford Fiesta EcoBoost, it's pushing 120 horsepower out of those 1 litre turbo engines. So, I mean, even if you go from the 90s to the 2025s, or the early 2000s to 2025, like in the last 20 years, 30 years, there's been a massive leap in performance, and I think it'll be carrying on doing the same again, I think.
And it's smaller engines getting more power than bigger engines now.
Yeah, so I mean, I do think the performance will be good. Another thing, though, going on from that side of it is, I think we are becoming more and more like the Yanks with automatic gearboxes.
Yes.
That's another thing, a lot more people are driving auto only. I get it, because I've got manual work bands, but I've got automatic. Well, both of my cars at the minute are auto. I've got a Chevy van because it came from America, and most vehicles are auto over there, and the automatic Shogun. Because I mean, we can't really be, because we buy second hand. We're not picky about the cars we buy, but it's not really been something I always won mainly for manual only. And I mean, to be honest, to this day now, for a toy, I still think manual is the way forward, because it just adds to the driver experience, and that's my personal preference. But day to day, especially because I had a car crash a few years back and I damaged my ankle, my left ankle, which is my clutch foot. So that one, if I'm stuck in traffic for a long period of time, then it does start aching a little bit. So I mean, for me, auto for daily driver is, if it's a car you don't really care about, if you've got if you can have a toy in the garage which has got a manual box and is fast and fun and more of a driver's car, but then you've just got something to run yourself around to the shops, to work. Auto isn't bad. I've come round to autos.
And to be fair, we're going back to what we were saying about increased performance. It's getting to the point now where manual boxes can't hack the power that's getting put through them.
Yeah, that's the other thing as well. That's one thing I loved about that 535, funny enough, and my friend's got, is it's because I was trying to convince my wife to let me buy it because of how fast it is, and I love my Beamers, but she said no, because she doesn't want an auto. She doesn't want all of our cars being auto, although all of our cars are auto at the minute. Yeah. But she said she'd like us to at least have one manual. She said she knows when we get old, chances are we're not going to be able to drive an auto, which is a very valid point. But my argument was that BMW don't make a manual box in that, because it was hard to find a manual box that would just take that kind of torque. And that was one of the biggest selling points for me.
Yeah.
I do not think it's just a little bit cooler. That car has got so much torque and power that they don't do a manual box.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean with EVs as well, it's less. Yeah, it's a good thing in a way, but there's less moving parts and stuff like that with all of it as well.
Yeah.
And there that goes towards it. Also, the gearbox kind of ties nicely in with that. And again, so I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm half expecting my daughter's about to start learning driving not too distant, and when she does, I wouldn't be surprised if she can't get to go to the manual, she's just going to go full auto. So there's a lot of the new generation I've noticed are doing that. Instead of like us, we went out there, we learned, like our parents always said to us, didn't they,
Yeah.
learn in a manual because at least you've got the option then.
They can drive both.
Yeah, whereas, because that's what, I don't know, if you're in a different country watching, in the UK, our licenses work. If you learn in a manual, you can drive a manual or an automatic. If you only learn in an automatic, then you can't drive a manual gearbox legally in this country.
Yeah.
Then, so that's the way it's always been. So I mean, but it seems like the newer like with our generation, it was kind of thing you learn in a manual. It's just a done thing. That's what we had to do.
Well, to be fair, automatic cars were expensive as well.
That's it. Whereas like nowadays, it seems like the younger generation. I mean, again, I'm just sounding old now. But it does seem like the newer generation of drivers, that makes it sound like I'm less old.
Yeah.
Seems like the newer generation of drivers, they seem to be more like, they'll have a go at it and go, nah, it's too hard. And then they'll just go straight for an auto, and I think that is one thing that's coming through.
Or they're just so used to their creature comforts, they're just going, well, automatic's easier, so I'll just go with that.
Yeah, I think non-car people like automatics more
Yes.
than car people do. And it's, I know it's a bold statement, but prove me wrong.
Yeah.
But no, I think so I mean, I think what we've discussed is quite good. I mean, have you guys got a view of how the car future might look?
Are there things that you think that we said that are bad that you actually think are good, or vice versa?
Yeah, or have we missed something major that we're probably going to be kicking ourselves for afterwards? Because we're probably going to carry this conversation on off camera, but we have been talking for 28 minutes. So
Yeah.
I think we've bored you guys enough. But yeah, if we've missed anything, then by all means let us know. We always love hearing from you guys. Comment below. Let us know what your thoughts are on it. Do you think it's a bright future or a bleak one for the cars? I mean, do you think we're all just going to be like in Total Recall in our Johnny cabs going everywhere?
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know. But I hope you've enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.